What's going on, guys? First and foremost, welcome to the very first inaugural episode of the Jesus Lounge.
Jesus Lounge.
Yes.
Welcome.
And just right off the bat here, we're going to introduce the cigars we're smoking. We're smoking the limited edition 2022 Las Calaveras.
Yes.
And what makes the Las Calaveras special is it is an addition from the My Father Cigar, and it is...
Hold that thought. We're both wearing Birkenstocks.
Look at that.
I think this is...
With white socks.
White socks. We didn't plan that.
No.
But we usually always wear Birkenstocks at the same time.
Yes.
Please continue,
It's
though.
Birkenstock.
Sorry.
It's a Birkenstock game.
Yeah.
Socks and
stocks.
So, back to the action. So what makes this cigar special is a couple different things. It is the first time that Las Calaveras has made a cigar entirely of Nicaraguan tobacco capped off in a Coroja 99 wrapper. Now, Chad's a little bit more manly than me, so he is smoking the Toro, and I'm smoking the wimpy Robusto. The Corojo Obscure wrapper results in a flavor profile that is signature to the My Father Cigars. And the limited edition, kind of what they do with the Las Calaveras is they pay tribute to people who work in the My Father's company that have passed away. So here on this band, there are 3 initials of people who have passed away, and every year they'll roll out a Las Calaveras to pay tribute to the people that have proudly served them, and they'll roll a really cool cigar with really neat and different tobacco flavors. And this year is Nicaraguan through and through, so they're hard to find. Shout out to Smokers Abbey for hooking us up.
Smokers Abbey in Gallatin, Tennessee.
We got them.
This used to be a bank, and there is it the humidor.
Yes.
Yes, the humidor, where they keep the cigars, was in the old bank vault. So they still have the bank vault there. I don't know if they ever open it or close it, but it's cool. It has a cool aesthetic to it. There's several different rooms. We're in the back room. Private room, VIP.
Yeah.
They were gracious enough to let us use this space. A big shout out to them. If you're in the Gallatin area, they're also in East Nashville.
They are.
Smokers Abbey.
And shout out Smokers Abbey. They just celebrated their 9th anniversary.
Wow.
So they're almost coming up on a decade.
Yeah, almost a decade.
Yep.
Well, that's really cool.
Yep.
And they also have pipes and pipe tobacco as well. So they kind of have a well-rounded. This one, I don't know about the one in East Nashville, but they also have beer on tap and some black press coffee, I believe. And Sprite, yes.
Ice cold Sprite.
Get your Sprite here. I got the Liquid Death sparkling water. I feel like it really complements the cigar. I just like the can. It's really cool. This has a good look to it. But let's I was going to say crack open these cigars, but that doesn't make any sense. Let's cut open the cigar
and let's smoke them.
How about you
I'll
go first?
For it first.
Yeah. Although I should probably get a head start on you.
Yeah, you'll smoke me out anyways.
I might. So we'll crack this open. Sometimes I employ the old-fashioned on the table, but I don't know if I want to do that. I think I'm going to go.
So yeah, just to just jump right in here. Once again, shout out Smokers Abbey for just letting us hang, letting us smoke, letting us straight vibe. I mean, I think it's going to be great.
Yes.
To kind of start us off tonight, I'm just going to kind of give us a rundown.
Trey, what is the Jesus Lounge all about, man?
Yeah. So kind of the Jesus Lounge idea came because probably about 8-9 months ago, me and Chad became best friends. Mm-hmm. And we started to just smoke the stoves.
We've been friends longer than 8-9 months, though, have we?
Yeah, but I think we really started smoking about 8-9 months ago, like consistently. And so we would come up here on Saturdays and we just smoke and hang and talk. And we got to started talking about different ideas about who Jesus is and who he is to us, and kind of like going through our life stories, and we'd share different things, and a couple of our friends would come, and the last time we were smoking, I was like, you know what, man, let's just podcast it. Let's just get this thing going. Let's make a podcast, and let's smoke, and let's talk about Jesus and how amazing he is, and share our stories, and incorporate different things. And so kind of the mission statement, kind of the idea behind the Jesus Lounge is, as followers of Christ and avid cigar smokers, we frequently find ourselves diving into some of life's most lofty ideas, like, where did dinosaurs come from? Can you believe in dinosaurs and Jesus? And how they relate to each other and God, while also sitting here enjoying a nice cigar like Las Calaveras.
Yeah, and this is nice.
It's good.
Yeah, I would say starting out, you can definitely tell that it's pretty full-bodied. I feel like this one at least is, and it's a little darker than yours.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So this will be more full-bodied. Probably want to have food in your stomach. A good one to smoke after a dinner.
Yep.
I have not had dinner yet.
Oh no.
So
that's depressing.
But you're getting yours going.
Yep. I'm more of a light body guy. I take it easy. Food in my stomach or food out. I'm just smoking light.
And I can definitely rock with both.
Yeah.
I like most cigars. There's not really one that I've had that I'm like, no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea behind it. And we thought that there aren't really many platforms where something as kind of laid back as smoking a cigar, and something rather unsimple and not laid back as the ideas behind God. But here we are. The only place you're going to get laid back and crazy ideas is here in the Jesus Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll get cigar reviews, and you'll get crazy ideas like, where did dinosaurs come from?
Yeah.
Or even if they ever existed in the first place.
I know. Have you seen the new Jurassic World?
I haven't.
So it's it's very much I would say the poignant what's the word, culmination of about 26 years of movie franchise, if you're not including the book. And it's I don't know, it was very okay. A lot of dinosaurs in it,
Of course.
which is good.
It's what you're looking for.
But it's probably out of, I think there were 6 movies.
I think there were.
So I've seen the first Jurassic Park. I've seen all the Jurassic Worlds, and I'm gonna go Jurassic Park. That's the classic. That at number 1. Jurassic World, the first one.
The first one was Chris Pratt.
Really good. Yes, Chris Pratt. And then Ron Howard's daughter.
Yep.
Bryce Dallas Howard, I
think
believe. That was great. I would put this one at number 3.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
But
I really thought the first one with Chris Pratt was phenomenal. Shout out Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He's got this new show. Is it a new show? The something? Chris Pratt's new show.
Really? Let's find it.
Let's find it out.
I love Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt also loves Jesus, so shout out
He
Chris
does.
Pratt.
Yes.
Double time.
Yeah, I like to see, you can only hope that professing Christians who are in the spotlight, the Hollywood spotlight, are genuine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that we should look at them and say, how can they actually mean what they say when they're actors, and because I think there's some of that. And there's also a weird Christianity in Hollywood, I feel like.
Definitely.
It's not really a Christianity.
Yeah.
But,
It's like, thank you. First and foremost, I just want to thank God for this opportunity.
Exactly.
And it's like, well,
It's called the Terminal List.
the terminal list.
Terminal List. It's got 40% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not
but 8.1
Okay.
on IMDb.
Okay. IMDb for the sake.
I'm a big IMDb fan.
Okay.
The first episode date was on July 1st, 2022. I would love to watch it. It's on Amazon Prime.
Bummer.
You don't have Amazon Prime?
I don't.
Well, they got The Chosen on there too now.
Really?
Yes.
Shout out. Hey,
But you
big
can also
shout
watch that
out-
on their app. So.
Big shout out to Smokers Abbey, to Las Calaveras and Chris Pratt, but even a bigger shout out to The Chosen, Dallas Jenkins' brother. You'll probably never watch this video, but you're killing it, man.
Yeah.
They're just changing. They're changing the world.
It's
I totally
I like
believe
the
it.
way that they approached this. That's not a verbatim. Is it verbatim?
No, not verbatim.
It's not
verbatim
that.
of
Verbatim.
Scripture.
Thank you. It's not that. They've already done movies like that, and the dialogue. If it's read exactly what's written in the gospel, it's going to be very limiting because.
So
as John
little.
says, there's no. If we wrote down everything that Jesus did,
It would
no
fill
book-
every library in the world.
So, but they are able to, in The Chosen,
Fill the gaps.
fill some gaps. There's a reason why they say it's not a replacement of the gospel, because there's things in that show that are not explicitly talked about in the gospel, but they would use their knowledge, I guess, on first century and possibilities on what maybe these disciples did, like maybe things that they talked about when Jesus was off healing thousands of people.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, these disciples were like us. They're humans. They're,
Make mistakes.
They make mistakes.
They're biased.
They're biased. They argue a lot, apparently, I guess.
I would agree.
They weren't like the kind of people that would really hit it off if there wasn't someone like Jesus that brought them together.
Yeah.
But how do we start talking about this? Anyways, The Chosen, it's a great
good.
show. It's a good show. We got season 3 coming soon.
Yeah, they do. And back to the thing about Chris Pratt, and you mentioned like celebrities. It is a kind of a weird place to be though, because it's like all eyes are on you, non-Christians and Christians.
Yes.
So you're in this tension.
This draws a lot of smoke. Sorry.
You're in this tension of like, okay, these non-Christians are going to think I'm weird, and these Christians are going to ridicule me no matter what I say. And everybody's watching your every move. So it's like, even when you do fail, the non-Christians are like, see, dude, you're like us. And then the Christians are like, see, man, you're not like us. And so...
right.
It's
when they
weird.
see, it's great when they see public figures who are Christians.
Yeah.
When they mess up, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, see, they're hypocrites.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that you're true. You
Yeah.
are right. Christians are hypocrites.
Yes, 100%. It's the whole idea behind it, though,
Right.
which you'll learn later in many more episodes to come, and how that dynamic works. But
Yeah.
yeah, they come under unnecessary scrutiny. I'll say that,
Sure.
because it's like, if there was a camera on me all day, every day, yeah,
And there is.
Yeah.
I've set a few up.
yes, like this.
It'll be one of our remotes on this podcast.
yeah, after hour special.
Yes.
But
Trey taking his dog out.
yeah. So it's just that you don't really you don't really understand what they go through. So I have sympathy for guys like that, because it's like
Right.
they're doing the best they can, man,
Yeah, I agree.
and that's all that matters.
Right.
So
That's true.
all right, well,
So we've talked about the cigars. How are you? So let's hear it.
I
How's
think
it?
it's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 7 out of 10.
Okay.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
This is so I usually smoke Connecticut's.
Yep.
This is not a Connecticut, so it's a little different than what I'm used to,
Yeah.
but flavorful and good smoke. Smoke comes off of it, but I think the tobacco is a little bit more bitter than some of the other cigars I smoke. If people think all cigars taste the same, they're crazy.
Right.
I'll call you a liar all day, every day.
Yeah.
Not every good cigar tastes the same.
No.
Now, most all cigars are great. They just don't taste the same to me.
Yeah. Again, never really had a cigar that I've
Didn't like.
did not like. Yes. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy smoking on this for the next 2 to 3 hours.
Yes.
We'll see how long it goes for.
So.
But yeah, so talked about kind of the premise of Jesus Lounge. Let's talk about each other, man.
Yeah, let's talk about it. For something for you, man. So the Jesus Lounge, we're getting into this, we're doing this. Give me one expectation.
I want a very relaxed, because we talked about, smoking cigars. I mean, this is something that people have been doing for thousands of years. Hola. Yes, sir. We're good. Thank you. That's Ezra. He's a great guy. He works here.
Shout out my boy Ezra.
Shout out. Oh yeah, he's great. So it's something that people have been doing for a very long time.
Yeah.
We'll talk about a little bit of the history of cigars coming up soon here.
Yep.
But I think it's a great way for people to sit back and contemplate, slow down, because you can't smoke a cigar, very quickly.
Can't get in a hurry.
Can't get in a hurry. It's kind of like the concept of, stopping off and smelling the flowers, smell the roses.
Yeah.
To kind of be at rest. It's a great way to unwind and a great way to fellowship. And I kind of see this as a fellowship time. We are going to be bringing on guests on this show. Not on this one just because we want to just kind of introduce ourselves a little bit. But I think I'm looking for some good fellowship, good biblical discussions, but ultimately a way for us and for anyone watching to really take time to think about gospel, think about the Bible, and how we can apply these things to our lives.
Yep.
And to our minds, to our mindset, to be aware of it, and I think it's great because, the Sabbath was a day of rest.
Yeah.
To be in God's creation, and just to enjoy His creation. So, and we thought we might as well, while we're doing this, just enjoy the Word of God and discuss it in fellowship.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
That does.
How about you?
Let's see. An expectation for me is that there's this idea, and it's kind of cheesy, but people say Jesus never ran anywhere. And so I think that this is a representation that the best way to live life.
I just ashed all over myself.
The best way to live life is at a slow, steady pace. And in this day and age, there aren't many ways to live out a slow, steady pace. And one way, and there's many different ways for people, but one way is to sit and smoke a cigar. And it just, to me, it is a beautiful representation of walking with Jesus. And I want to unpack that, and I want to just give people a place where if they're feeling rushed, that they could, hop on and just kind of hang out with us and just
right.
And we glorify God through it, and we we talk about things that you don't get to talk about on Sunday mornings, or that you don't have enough time in the Bible studies, because we have unlimited amounts of time here. So to unpack ideas that a pastor's not going to cover on Sunday mornings,
right?
Or just things that are just not, I don't want to say less important, but just aren't, we'll cover the important things, but then we'll cover a bunch of stuff that's just off the wall.
I feel like there's a lot of stuff, a lot of interesting discussions that Christians going to have about theology and just history, science, we'll be talking a lot about algebra,
Yes.
trigonometry.
Yes.
I got my protractor with me.
Yes.
But obviously, there's certain things that we might talk about that might not be too important in the grand scheme of things. But I think it's interesting to talk about and something that Christians can absolutely have discussions, opinions on.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we like to do.
Yeah, and that's the idea behind guests, is bringing in people who have certain opinions or ideas about things, and they get to share it, and we get to just kind of bounce ideas off one another.
Yes.
And my expectation is, man, we're going to do this with or without anybody, and so to have people come along with us and just enjoy it like we do, as much as we do, I'm having fun. That's another expectation. I just want to have fun. And I don't know, man, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think God will be glorified, and a lot of stoves will be smoked, and it'll be a good time.
So on that note, let's talk about the Mayans.
Yeah.
How was that segue?
That segues
Were
because historical fact of the day is the very first known civilization to ever smoke a rolled cigar were the Mayans. And a very long time ago, I want to say 4,000 BC.
For the Mayans?
Or am I wrong on that?
No. So the Mayans, it's all right. So Mayans, we would be talking about around 1,000 BC
1,000
to maybe 1,500.
Okay, that's where I was at. 1,000 BC.
I'm sorry. AD.
AD.
Apologize.
Yes.
So we have you ever been to the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico?
I have.
So I've actually been to, I believe it's the Chichen Itza. The Mayan ruins as a very famous pyramid that they would use to sacrifice people. That's what a lot of civilizations have done over the years. But the constructions are incredible. They have a observatorium where because Mayans were really into observing the stars and constellations, and they were one of the civilizations that were around when European explorers came to Mexico and interacted with them. But it's interesting that we kind of get that cigar from that time period.
Yes, so scratch the time.
Yes, it wasn't 4,000 BC.
Either way, the Mayans were the first civilization known to smoke cigars. And they actually helped spread it to other places all throughout the Americas. And it actually, their influence on cigars reached parts of the world like Canada and South America. Then fast forward to, I won't get this one wrong, 1492.
Right.
Christopher Columbus comes to the Americas, and one of the first things he discovers is the use of tobacco. And on his return to Europe, he takes a lot of tobacco, cigars, pipe tobacco with him, and that is how the Europeans found out about cigars and the use of tobacco, is through the Mayans. Then it all snowballed into Christopher Columbus getting them. Then it also was one of the very first crops that the first 13 colonies used to trade back and forth to Europe. Is tobacco. Is one of the very first. It's kind of how really America kind of got their start, making selling to Europe was the growth and distribution of tobacco.
Right.
So
we'll clarify this. We'll clarify the dates.
Yes.
So from Britannica, Mayan civilization began as early as 1500 BC, or BCE, whatever your choice on that is, and would last until about 900 to 1000 AD.
Yep.
But they were still, it was still heavily populated.
Yeah.
When the Europeans showed up.
Yeah.
So, just so we are
Got this quick.
more accurate.
But either way, tobacco is a national staple because it kept America afloat as they grew into what became America, the United States of America. Tobacco was the number one sold and distributed crop in the 13 colonies.
Right.
And so here we are.
Yeah.
A couple hundred years later.
Yeah, just a couple.
It's just smoking the stoves, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
So that's the historical fact of the day.
Yeah, that's fact of the day. We like to throw in little factoids.
Yeah.
We might not have all of the factual information of these facts correct,
but
eventually we will.
Yes.
Yes.
One day, like Joe, we'll have a nice little person over here.
Yes.
Straight Googling.
Right.
Straight Googling.
We need people fact checking us all the time.
Yes. I need to be fact checked.
We never knowingly get a fact wrong.
Yes. And that's a fact. Yeah. So, segue to the next one, Chad. Tell me a little bit about two things. How you got into smoking cigars, and two, how you started following the Lord.
Right. Well, in 1500 BC, we'll go with cigars. Really started actively smoking them. I would say 2017.
Okay.
I remember one of my first smokes was when we had the solar eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Were you here for that?
Mm-hmm.
We were in a very good location for the solar eclipse in Middle Tennessee. We observed just about a total eclipse.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was really neat. And I smoked a chupacabra.
Ooh,
chupacabra. And that's a personal favorite of mine.
Okay.
But I just really started enjoying it at that point. Started smoking a pipe, maybe 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy pipes as well. But yeah, about then.
Okay.
So second question. I grew up in a Christian household.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what that means in the Bible Belt is we went to church on Sunday.
And that's it.
No, but I feel like that is what that means.
Yes, that is the idea behind a Christian family.
Right. No, but we grew up reading the Bible, devotionals, I did a very unusual thing in that when college came around, I stopped going to church.
Okay.
That's a very common thing, I feel like.
Yes, that is very common. Not unusual.
Not unusual. I meant to say non-unusual.
Yes.
I get my words mixed up. Interesting. Yes. Interesting you say deconstruction, because that is a thing that happens.
Yes.
And I would love to talk about that in a future episode.
Yes.
But during college, I was not attending church. I wasn't really, working on the weekends. Just became a good excuse to not do that.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, when college was over, I was confronted. I use the word confronted very accurately by a friend of mine telling me that I need to come to a church that he goes to, and really became active in this church. I still go to this church now. It's called The Movement Church
Hey.
in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Pretty good church.
Hey, shout out TMC.
Everyone says their church is the best. Our church is the
lying.
best.
Unless they go to TMC, they're lying.
But became very active in that. I play in the worship band. And
you also help with worship in the youth.
I do.
And you kill it.
I do. I enjoy that. After college, I became a lot more intentional in my walk with the Lord. And we've been in several Bible groups together.
We have.
And really, I started just was really passionate about the Bible and learning as much as I can by obviously reading the Scripture and then supplementing that with other books.
Yep.
It's really helped with my walk. And I think, as long as a Christian is living, their walk is never fully complete.
Nope.
Their sanctification is never fully complete until we're in the ground and up with the Lord.
Yeah.
So just continuing to grow and learn. And I enjoy it. I enjoy reading the Bible, talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Trey, how about you, man?
Dude, so...
Both questions. Cigar, following the Lord.
I smoked marijuana for a very long time. And I did not... I cold turkeyed. This was actually kind of before I was serious about the Lord. Mm-hmm. I saw marijuana as a burden just in life more than it was on my spiritual walk. And it was a burden on my spiritual walk, but that came after. But so I smoked marijuana, and I realized that it was just not beneficial. It was not good. But I did like, and this is kind of crazy, I like the art of smoking. Like, I enjoyed smoking. And so after I quit smoking weed and gave that up, I then met a fine young man by the name of Chandler Hudson, and he invited,
who we'll hopefully have on the show at some point.
Yes, he re-invited me to TMC because I actually went to TMC in the beginning, left, and then came back. And so Chandler re-invited me. I got serious about the Lord. I got involved. I helped Chandler start young adults ministry at TMC. And he invited me one night to smoke a cigar. And I'm like, well, I've always enjoyed smoking illegal things. And why not give something legal for a try?
Right.
And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was wonderful. And so we would get together and smoke and do Bible studies and stuff. And so kind of the birth of my following of Christ and getting into cigars kind of went hand in hand.
Wow, okay.
So that kind of just was a nice little tandem.
Yeah.
And since that point, I'll smoke cigars as much as possible.
Yeah.
Even when I mow the yard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time to do it.
It really is.
Out on the golf course?
Out on the golf course.
I'm also interested in hearing like what got you in, because you've also been very active in leadership, leading in small groups.
Yeah.
You pastor the youth, the kids, youth at the church. What kind of gave you that passion to not only be a follower of Christ, but also be a leader? Yes.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I feel like I've always been like a strong personality, and anybody that knows me would agree. And I'm not good at following. And I don't know if that's just because I enjoy to lead, or if God gave me that gift. But ever since I gave my life to Christ, there's always kind of been that opportunity to lead in some form or fashion. And with having a strong personality, with and I think too, having the, I don't even want to say testimony because that word has negative connotations to it, but being what I had gone through my life and through being opposed to God and then following Him, I felt like I could lead because I could speak to different life situations. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of just accepted it. And I don't know, I just enjoy to lead, man. I like to be involved, and I like to just like have my ideas. Mm-hmm. And just that was like my desire to be a husband.
Yeah.
It's because I get to lead. And then and it was funny because I always told myself, I am going to lead young adults.
Yeah.
That's what God's calling me to. I'm gonna bust through every door that allows me to lead young adults.
Yeah.
And then God had me lead other things,
Yeah.
the youth. And so, funny thing is, the things I thought I was called to lead, I didn't even get to do for the long run. Even though we did do young adults there for a while.
Right.
But then I get to lead the youth, and so never really thought I would, but it's kind of a full circle moment. But I don't know what makes me a leader, really.
Yeah.
But I tried to just get better, man. I tried to, and you know, if you think about, if we're going into like scripture about it, what makes a leader, they don't really speak a lot. Paul, when he writes, he doesn't speak a lot to personality traits. He doesn't speak a lot to, leadership techniques. He speaks a lot to the heart of the man who is leading. And so that's been the hardest thing for me, is not the personality traits and not the ideas and the engagements behind becoming a leader, but looking internally at your heart and seeing, are you fit to lead?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I think that's more important, because what hurts a lot of people and what pushes a lot of people to deconstruction is leaders who have the personality traits, who have the charisma, who have the abilities to lead, but they don't have the heart. They don't have the servant heart of leadership.
Right. And maybe they don't have the biblical knowledge that they need too.
And they don't. I've seen a lot of, or I don't see a lot, but I've seen some leaders who were very good at what they did, but they didn't look within to like really see, are they fit to lead,
Yeah.
So
a question that I have, and I think this is something that we'll ask other people that we bring on who are also leaders in the Christian body, and I think it's an important thing to bring up, because this is a very real thing that leaders can struggle with. As Christians, we believe obviously the physical world, but there's also a spiritual realm, and with that, you hear the term spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
And have there been burdens that have been laid on you, or have there been spiritual warfare that you've had to fight with in a leadership role?
Yeah, man, I think, and I'll be pretty vulnerable here, I never get behind, or never gotten behind the charismatic position of spirituality, I guess. Like demons and, that kind of, there is a divide between non-charismatic people and charismatic people on the devil and the enemy. And so I never got behind that idea that, like, what Satan really is and what the enemy really does. And I think the areas that Satan will attack, or the enemy that will attack the most, is he will find areas of your life you're not confident in. And he will make you, I'm trying to think of the word here. He will make you want to pursue those things outside of God's idea of it.
Sure.
So I'll say something like, I wasn't confident for a long time that I was smart enough.
Right.
That I was like, I had the head knowledge to tell people things and like have bright ideas. And so if I wasn't confident in that, the best way to do it was to gain as much knowledge as you can.
Yeah.
Whether it benefited your relationship with God or not, and then use it as a ploy against people. And so I find that's just in one area. I found myself, okay, I've got to read these books. I've got to watch these videos. I got to get in seminary, not because I love Jesus, but because I can't love Jesus and be a follower of him the way I want unless I have this knowledge.
Yeah.
And I caught myself after a while, and then I kind of decompressed and stopped trying to get knowledge because I felt like I'd overloaded myself. And then I just felt like I'm getting all this knowledge and I can answer all these questions, but, you know, has it caused me to love Jesus more? Because, you know, that's the end goal, man. You know, the end goal is falling in love with Jesus and who he is, and, you know, because that's what heaven is. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we're pursuing. And that's in one area where I caught myself. But spiritual warfare is real, and it comes in ways you don't think. It's not this, like, it's more like, you know, and like you should read the book Screw Tape Letters.
Yes.
Have you read it?
I have not.
Shout out Screw Tape Letters.
Yeah.
Shout out C.S. Lewis. That book, when I read that book, there was a shift for me in spiritual warfare. Okay, he's like, okay, spiritual warfare is real, and he is not this like weird devil with horns. He is like thoughts in your mind. He is distractions. He is those kind of things, and he's for real. And like one of the greatest lines is, Jesus and God, the same. They want you to live in freedom. Satan wants to fatten you like a calf so that you're ready for the slaughterhouse. And I don't know how that ties into leadership, but when I read that, I was like, if I'm following Jesus, I should always feel free. I should always like be completely and utterly free of like who I am and, you know, my doubts, my opinions. Like, I should just be free to be loved. And if I'm not doing that, then I'm being, you know, fattened. I'm being prepared for the slaughterhouse.
Right.
And when I read that, I was like, dude, that is just so true, because there is this idea that when you follow Jesus, you're not free, you know, because you're submitting to God's will, which is true. And you're always asking, oh, what does God have for me? And you always feel like you're always trying to hear from him. And you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But really, he's calling us to freedom, because we were in bondage. We were a slave to sin. Right. Before he saved us, you know. And so I think spiritual warfare is finding that balance of determination and submitting to the Lord, but also feeling like you're free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of things in what you said there that I see us being able to really dive into and unpack more as we continue this podcast. Yeah. Before we go, I think we can do something kind of fun.
Okay.
Let's take a Bible quiz.
Okay.
You up for that?
I am up for it.
All right. Let's see how smart you really are.
Okay. Probably not.
Let's see if those books helped.
Yes. Okay.
All right. So this is just for fun.
Okay.
This isn't to alienate anybody that doesn't know these answers, but just something that we think would be fun, and you all can play along and let us know how many you got right out of these 10. And they say they're easy. Okay. So.
Pause. There used to be a TV show that came on, the Great American Bible.
Yep.
Love that show.
Jeff Foxworthy.
Yes. Love that show.
Yeah.
Great show. Okay. This is our version of.
This is our version of the
Great American Bible Show.
Great American Bible Show.
And you're Jeff Foxworthy.
I'm Jeff Foxworthy.
Okay.
You might be a redneck if you get these right. So, how many books are in the Protestant Old Testament?
Oh my gosh.
That's a pretty hard one.
Can I give you a range?
It's a pretty tough one.
Can I give you a range?
Sure.
Between 30 and 40.
39.
Oh, yeah.
39.
Okay.
If you had said 40, That would have been pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah, okay.
But I think you're in the range.
Okay, I was in the range. I was thinking if I was going to give you a straight answer, I was going to say 33.
33.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought, well, maybe it's a little more. Okay,
Yeah.
so I was.
You're in the ballpark.
I was in the ballpark.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. On what day did God create man?
Third day.
No.
No. No, he created man on the 5th day.
No.
Dude, no.
No. We came late to the party.
6th day.
Yes.
Wow.
That's another conversation on what they mean by days. 24-hour days, time periods. I don't know. One of those fun things that might not be as
important,
but it could be. You never know. We'll definitely talk more about that.
Okay, so I was way off on that
Sixth
one. 6th day.
Wow. Man.
I was ready.
It's all right. It's all right. No, you got this. You got this.
Okay.
How many sons did Jacob have?
2.
Just okay. Think again.
Okay, no.
Remember Jacob?
No, yeah, Jacob and Esau were brothers.
Yes, they were
and
brothers.
And then Jacob had Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob.
I'll give you a hint. Tribes of Israel.
There's 12 of them.
Yes.
He had 12 sons.
Yep.
Okay, I was thinking Jacob and Esau at first. That's why I said 2.
Yeah.
Then I was going to say 8. But we're going 12.
All right.
12 tribes of Israel.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Again, this is easy.
Yeah,
So.
okay.
Okay. Who is said to have written the first 5 books of the Old Testament, otherwise known as the Pentateuch?
Wouldn't it be Moses?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, I feel good about that one. Moses.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. From what part of Adam's body did God create Eve?
His rib.
There you go.
Easy.
Rib cage.
Yeah.
Just rib.
Just a rib.
We can probably go for some ribs after this.
Yeah.
There's a train coming through.
That's a shame. I live next to a train, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, you do.
Yep.
What did David use to defeat Goliath?
He used a rock and a sling.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy. That is an easy one.
It says here a sling and a stone.
Oh, okay. I was close.
But you were, it's all it is just nomenclatures.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what that word means. Name one of the 2 birds Noah sent from the ark.
He definitely sent a dove.
You did.
Yep.
Do you want to know what the other one was?
A raven?
Yeah, you already knew it.
Oh.
A raven.
Yeah. It's a raven.
There you go.
Wow, I got both. Oh, so I started off pretty bad, but I'm finishing strong.
Yeah, you got this. You'll get this one. What animal tempted Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden? Serpent. Slithery little serpent.
Yeah.
Man. It would be that animal.
It would be.
Yeah.
Snake.
It'd be weird if like a cat did it.
Yeah. Or a dog. A dog would never cross somebody like that.
Oh, if it was a dog, they would have no chance.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna do whatever a dog tells you
Yeah,
to do.
exactly.
There
would have been no convincing needed.
Right.
It would have just been the dog told me to. So
Yes, the dog told me to, so I had to do it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I think you got this one. What gave Samson his strength?
His hair.
There you go. Which is,
honestly, if I was bald, I'd feel really bad about myself. So
yes.
Hair is a
and
big game
remember
changer.
what group he was a part of that made him have to keep his hair?
No, I do not know that.
He was part of a group. He couldn't touch alcohol, couldn't touch dead bodies, had to keep his hair long. So Samson was a Nazirite.
Nazarite.
Yes.
Close to Nazareth.
Exactly. All right, this is the final question.
Okay.
I have a good feeling you're going to get this one. All right, here we go. God asked Abraham to make a sacrifice to him on Mount Moriah.
Yep.
What was it?
It was his son.
His son Isaac.
And he was going to do it.
He was going to do it.
And God stopped him.
And that's another topic. That's another discussion.
Yeah.
And then he ended up giving a very interesting covet.
Yes.
And it was actually between God and himself. And Abraham was going to just listen to what God told him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because humans can't really come into a covenant with God.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna fall short of it.
Yeah.
So, I would give you about a 75%.
Okay. I passed.
Yeah.
It's a passing grade.
It is, but we'll keep this going.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm at a 75 right now. I feel
Yeah.
good about it.
yeah, we'll keep a running score. Well, thanks for watching our inaugural episode of the Jesus Lounge. We will talk about just more biblical topics and hopefully have some people on for the next one and continue our discussion.
Yeah.
So
Peace.
thank you so much for watching, y'all. See you next time.